Hello, welcome to Borderline Obsessed Travels, High Points, Tripoints, Counties, National Parks. In this video, we are starting in western Nebraska and working our way north. I just got to the driveway that goes to the Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming Tripoint. To get here, I was on dirt roads for like 25 miles. I came from Grover, Colorado. I believe if you come from Pine Bluffs, Wyoming, though, it looks like the roads might be paved all the way to this point. There's a little sign here with directions, so I'm gonna read that right now. Okay, it's foot traffic only. You just gotta walk along a driveway that follows a fence on the Colorado side of the Colorado-Wyoming border. This is the point where Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming meet. It took me about 15 minutes to walk here from the road. That's the trail you walk in on. The highest point in Nebraska is only a little over a mile from the Tripoint, but it's like 7 miles by roads, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Panorama Point is on a bison ranch. You're supposed to stay in your car because there are bison. It also costs $3. It's not like anyone's enforcing that, but you know, to be polite. This is Panorama Point, the highest point in Nebraska and the 20th highest state high point in the US at 5,429 feet. I did not see any bison driving in here, but I guess they're around here somewhere. This is the trail register. So I'm walking to the Chaffee Monument where Nebraska, South Dakota, and Wyoming meet right now. Based off the research I did, it seemed like it was a fine thing to do to drive up to the house of the people that like own this land and just ask them. Normally they'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem. That information is not really correct anymore. They're saying for all future reference, for anyone who wants to do this, park on the Nebraska side, find a way in through Nebraska because the Nebraska side is a national grassland, I think. And it's all like public land. So yeah, for future reference, the people living here now are not fans of people showing up at their house. I was also told that there are rattlesnakes around. I've almost stepped on a few cactus plants, and I've had to climb through a lot of barbed wire. So this is the Chaffee Monument where Sioux County, Nebraska, Fall River County, South Dakota, and Niobrara County, Wyoming meet. I'm not gonna loiter because I should get off these people's property. I'm at Wind Cave National Park and I just bought tickets to do a tour. I got here a little bit before the visitor center opened at 8 a.m. to get in line because a lot of people are here like right when the visitor center opens to buy tickets. It was $16. I think it takes a little bit over an hour. There's 300 stairs involved. So I'm at Custer State Park right now, near the trailhead to Black Elk Peak, which is the highest point in South Dakota. This is not very far from Wind Cave National Park. It costs $20 to get in here. I think this is gonna be around a 7-mile round trip hike, and it's like a loop. The name was changed to Black Elk Peak in 2016 to honor a Lakota Sioux medicine man whose name was Black Elk. The whole like Black Hills area has been, still is, will continue to be sacred to the Lakota people. So that's like here, that also included Wind Cave, and apparently you will see like prayer flags on trees. I heard there's a bunch at the peak here, and there was also a bunch in Wind Cave. Don't touch them, don't untie them, and don't take direct pictures of them. So I'm gonna be taking Trail 4 to get to the peak, and then Trail 9 to get back. I don't know if there's like a way that most people do it. I'm just taking 4 first because this is the trail that I found first. I took a detour along the trail to go to something called Little Devil's Tower. This was a longer detour than I assumed it would be, and there was some rock scrambling involved, but I would say it was worth it to go here. And there is Black Elk Peak. Looks like we have a set of stairs to get up there. So this is Black Elk Peak, the highest point in South Dakota, the 15th highest state high point in the US, and the highest point east of the Rocky Mountains at 7,242 feet. The high point is not located where the fire lookout tower is. That's all the way over there. That's kind of where the trail ends. And then this peak right here has an old foundation on it, but that is also not the highest point. It is the next one right here. That's it. To get over to the actual high point, you have to go through the basement of the fire tower. Trail 9, which I'm taking back to like complete the loop, seems shorter and easier, but a little less interesting than Trail 4. I just got to the Geographic Center of the US monument in Belfouche, South Dakota. The Geographic Center of the Lower 48 was in Lebanon, Kansas, but if you included Alaska and Hawaii in there, the Geographic Center of all 50 states is in Belfouche. This is not really the exact point. The exact point is on private property like 20 miles north of here, but this is like the touristy big monument. You can go see the one on private property also. Like the owner lets people go see it, but he just didn't want a big monument built on his property, so they built it in the nearest town, which is Belfouche. It's been raining off and on for probably the last 16 hours. So I've made the executive decision to skip a few things. I don't really want to drive on 100 miles of wet dirt roads in my two-wheel drive, very low to the ground car that has all of my possessions in it. So the things I'm gonna skip are the Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming Tripoint, the Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota Tripoint, and the actual Geographic Center. So I'll just give you a little bit of information. The Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming Tripoint is 20-ish miles outside Belfouche, South Dakota. You park on Albion Road on the Montana, South Dakota border and walk about half a mile west along a fence to the Montana, South Dakota, Wyoming Tripoint. The Geographic Center of the U.S. monument is also about 20 miles outside Belfouche, but you're just pretty much going straight north onto a dirt road eventually, and then you just kind of walk into some guy's field. I think it's pretty easy to get to, except a dirt road. And then the Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota Tri-Point is outside Buffalo, South Dakota. And there's a way to get there that goes through private property, but it sounded like you would need four-wheel drive to do that. So my plan was to park on Cox Ranch Road on the Montana, North Dakota line, and then walk 2 miles south along a fence to the Tri-Point. Honestly, I would say in my head, high points in national parks take precedent over Tri-Points anyway. So I'm gonna still do the high points in the national parks that I want to, but I'm skipping these Tri-Points because I don't want to deal with it. To get to White Butte, the highest point in North Dakota, you go near Amadon, North Dakota, and then you go south on 140th Street for like 5 miles. And there are signs. This is on private property, but the owners let the public go to White Butte. The hike to White Butte used to be around 4 miles round trip, but as of summer 2022, they have built a road much closer to the high point. There's a proper parking area here now, and I think it's a little bit over a half mile to the peak from here now. Just over 1 mile round trip. It's on private property, so be respectful, and there is a donation box. Walking through grass along a fence line. There's a little bit of climbing up steep hills, but it's not that difficult. This is White Butte, the highest point in North Dakota and the 30th highest state high point in the U.S. at 3,506 feet. Trail register is right there. The parking lot is over there. There's a few trails around here. They'll all get you where you're going, but the most direct way will probably keep you close to the fence line. I'm at Theodore Roosevelt National Park right now. I'm at the southern unit. So before he was president, Theodore Roosevelt had 2 ranches in this area, the Badlands of North Dakota. And he was one of the first presidents to actively care about preserving the natural environment, and he credits his experiences living in North Dakota on his ranches with caring about that.
Down to Old Faithful, but now now the devastation.
I don't know what's going on over there. There's a bunch of bison in the road and people are just slowly trying to drive by. They're taking up one lane of traffic. Oh, now they're taking up both lanes, so might be here for a minute. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want, don't if you don't, and I will see you later. Bye.